Welcome to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And we love talking about social enterprises, making a difference. In this case, we're talking about My Cup of Tea, empowering women in Orange Mound. We are joined by Carey Moore. She is the founder of the mission and the CEO of the business for My Cup of Tea. Carey, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Jeremy.
Well, let's start out. You being the founder of the mission and the CEO of the business, this is a personal storyline on your end, but give us a little bit of history for launching My Cup of Tea.
My husband and I had been involved in world missions, specifically India and Ukraine. And reversals in health made us realize going abroad was not wise. And so we knew fairly confidently that our wealth and our energy and our time, experiences too, would best avail our city if we just dug into a neglected part of our wonderful Memphis. And so we chose Orange Mound and then bought some property here and just baby steps, but obedience to what we thought our call was.
Where did the idea come in to source the tea and then be able to use it as a powerful tool to empower women? So where did that inspiration come from?
Well, certainly not from us. It turned out that our desire to build relationships and resource women, specifically single moms, because there's just the population of that is strategic in this area. And what we wanted to be was partners and friends, and then enlist a lot of our own contacts to be resources and friends as well. Well, the people that came through our big building here really didn't want a relationship. They needed help, to put a fire out. And so this lovely tea company just kind of dropped into our lap. A friend was ready to pull out of her cottage industry. And it turned out that that was the security, because everyone needed a job, and a job with flexible tenants, which is what we do here. Everyone is secure in their job, no matter what Providence throws at them. We hang on.
Nice. How do you describe My Cup of Tea? Because it is amazing teas, and we can tease the audience, obviously, as we talk about it, but how do you describe My Cup of Tea?
It is a top tier product. Our tea is imported from plantations in India, China, Formosa, and then there are blenders that bring it to its bloom. And then our manager is essentially a tea master without the degree, and so she selects, and then we test and taste, and because our only competitor was bought out by Starbucks, and so we really have the for a tea connoisseur, we're the first stop.
Give us an idea. Go ahead and tease us for some of the popular flavors and the different teas.
Well, I would say a lot of people don't know enough about tea to know that it all comes from one specific bush, the Camellia sinensis. And so a green, a black, a white tea, all have a different process in order to maintain that nomenclature. But the blends that we have here are fun. And so we have some herbal teas which aren't true teas, but the majority we carry are blended. Our true teas are blended with the true mark of the fruit or the leaf or the spice. If it's a nut, it's the real nut. So it looks like potpourri, and it steeps beautifully, and it has it retains its impact for 2 or 3 different cups of tea.
I know that you have some Memphis ties in terms of the brews. And so talk about the Memphis inspired brews.
We never changed the teas. What we did was change the names. We wanted Memphis to, once again, have something it could be proud of, as well as barbecue and the Grizzlies and so on. And so we have a Memphis After Dark chocolate mint, and we have Riverboat Queen strawberry green, and Bluff City chai, and blue suede shoe.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then a pomegranate green and so on. All of them, those teas were already in place and in a lovely little British presentation. But yeah, we renamed them.
When you look at like the chais and the different teas, and I like how you were talking about how they all come from the same bush, so to speak. What are some things, like when it comes to tea trivia, what are some things that we need to know about teas?
Oh, that's fun, Jeremy. Well, I'm the first one to need to know because I was not a tea drinker. And the temperature of the water is important, and the length of the steep is all on the directions on the box. And so people who are green tea lovers probably drink it more as medicinal, not realizing that it is beautiful if it only has a 2-minute steep at the right temperature. And so we love to encourage people to really follow the instructions on the box. And the other thing is that the tea then can be thrown into the compost. It's a cornstarch pillow that holds our tea. And I think also the idea of having something that has such a lovely connotation of elegance is wonderful to give our women who don't have that exposure, our employees, and to know that they are really in the champagne of a product that is well received, and they have more knowledge and confidence about something that not the average person would even know about.
Give us an idea of the women in terms of their story, what they've been through, the importance of working and having an opportunity to have this purpose with My Cup of Tea. So kind of illustrate the story of the women who you have a chance to work with.
Our women are veterans of their own personal wars, and have had so much courage in overcoming what you and I, most of us, would not even be aware of. Each could write a book of having overcome. And so where we offer them a job, we also offer a platform for sharing those hurts and pains. And it's not that we are therapists or psychotherapists or able, none of us are really counselors, but a burden shared is half the burden. And so there is a network of trust and love and commitment among our women. We stop for lunch every day and have a devotional, which always triggers more stories. And so it's a sisterhood. And then we bring in volunteers who are part of the resource, who bring in lunch and different activities to continue to expand exposure here. And so it really is a community, almost like a small church right here is what we're doing. And we pray for one another. We have after hours contacts, and then, everybody's on speed dial.
How has this experience changed you and your perspective of the community? So how has this experience changed you?
Well, it certainly has put me in my place, because I thought with my education and advanced age and experience that I would be a source of hope and promise and, all kinds of cures. And I'm not that at all. What has happened is it's exposed my own brokenness and given me a desire to pray more trust the Lord more, not use, all of my easy accesses, but rather have permanent changes in me and in them.
How has the pandemic impacted My Cup of Tea?
Well, two of our ladies were quite sick and in the hospital. We never closed because we thought that there would be an economical impact on our personnel, and we didn't want to do that. So we secured the face masks. We sprayed everybody half a dozen times a day, and we kept our workspaces sanitized, and we kept open is what we did.
When you look at how the community can help, obviously purchasing My Cup of Tea, you have a website and we'll promote that for sure. So definitely talk about the website, but how can the community help? How can we be part of what you're doing and support your efforts?
Well, that's the main way, is to buy our tea. We're about to begin having tea parties again now that COVID seems to be in the back corner or the backyard. And we would love to do that. And people could engage us for a couple of hours and have an event. We'd put on a beautiful afternoon tea here. And that also will bring more people into our place. Orange Mound has a reputation that isn't quite fair, but we are an established pillar here where we are, and we haven't had a lick of trouble. And so big parking lot and beautiful gardens. People are always amazed. Every person who comes in will say, I had no idea this was here. And so, yes, come and see us.
And when you look at obviously the tea parties and coming and seeing you and that side, talk also about, I view this as obviously an everyday opportunity, but for birthday parties and holidays and gifts and all sorts of things, it's a perfect gift item as well with a higher purpose. And so talk about how people can latch in, especially in a bigger way with like bulk orders. And I'm thinking like companies being able to buy in bulk. So how can we kind of tie in on that side?
Well, you certainly can, and many have. And we do, we're part of quite a few hospitality baskets, not only locally, but nationally. And then there are different organizations and businesses that have taken one of our teas and branded it personally for them, and then used it as a gift. And then, the party idea, though our footage is limited, so we don't have huge parties here, but they are lovely and elegant. And then I would say also, because many of us are better networked than a lot of people who have come up through less opportunities. And so anyone who has a desire to further the motives and the dreams of some of our ladies would always be welcome and come and shop. There is a beautiful Japanese art called kintsugi, and it takes a broken vessel, a porcelain cup, and then rather than trying to use Elmer's glue to pull it back together for some use, there's a glue that is superimposed with gold leaf, and that is what's used to secure the broken pieces. And that is such an image of what we're trying to do. The value is in the crack and the way that it has been brought to beauty. And so we're getting ready to have a workshop on that and let each lady take her broken vessel, and then we will highlight it and make another chandelier. We have chandeliers all around the house of cups and broken cups.
I love it. And that's a great illustration too. Mention some of the other things because it is more than tea. Obviously tea is the focus, but you do have other products. And so give us a little bit of highlight on some of the other things that.
We have accoutrements for tea, all kinds of little pots. We have cozies that are made here by one of our entrepreneurs who works for us. And the tea cozy is charming, as well as a warming agent to keep the tea hot, the teapot hot. We have aprons. We have a little wig shop. We have monogramming. We have a workshop that repurposes furniture that's donated. We have these gardens that each woman has, and we're about to go into the soil soon, as soon as this weather calms down. And then we have all kinds of little cute puppets and stuffed animals and books and devotionals. And we honestly are a shopping destination.
And I think that's the beauty of it, is that there's so many ways we can support your efforts, and it all has that higher purpose of helping women in Orange Mound. So wrap up with website and where we can go to learn more and shop for My Cup of Tea.
Our website is beautifully done by Speak. And we have a shop on it, as well as most of our blogs that have covered the past 2 or 3 years. We have stories of our women, lots of pictures. We have Instagram, and it can access our shop immediately. We have Facebook, which will access our shop immediately too. So we welcome all the social media gurus that can get to us in various ways. And then we have our steady friends who just come through the door. We're at 3028 Carnes, and we're open from 9 to 2 every weekday.
And that's the beauty, is just Google shop My Cup of Tea, and there you are. So it makes it easy.
Right. That's right.
Well, Carey, greatly appreciate all you and your amazing team are doing. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeremy. It's been a pleasure.